Howdy, Immortalum here. This is a discussion on something that I feel is neglected in otaku fandom in the West. Despite the importance of this medium in Japanese otakudom, it doesn't sell as well over here, oddly enough, and it's not as popular, which is quite a surprise considering how many anime series are based off of these. Okay, I'll just tell you first of all. If you haven't guessed from the title, this is a discussion on light novels. If you're not aware of what a light novel is, what a light novel basically is kind of like a novella, a Japanese novella. They're they're short enough, like about 200 pages. Their text is relatively large. The difference, though, is that they'll have illustrations kind of done throughout. Now, the purpose of these illustrations, it did take me a while to figure out. At first, I thought it was simply, just to help stimulate the mind and all that jazz, and to show off, the artwork. Oh, it's nice artwork. But actually, I came across a more kind of important reason. Basically, if you read a book, you generally image a character in like real life, 3 dimensions, etc., etc. If you're reading a book and you come across like kind of 2-dimensional drawings of a scene that you're reading, that kind of then helps you kind of turn the 3-dimensional or realistic imagery then into a kind of more 2-dimensional anime or manga style kind of imagining. So not only is this going to be a discussion, but it's also going to be kind of a show off of my light novel collection. Now, it isn't much, so I don't really know what to say with that. I should be buying more of them. It's just I focus more on manga, of course. Most people do. I guess that's no surprise. Let me name off some anime series that are based on light novels. And just to show you how popular these anime adaptations are. First of all, Sword Art Online. That's a light novel originally. Bakano, that's a light novel. Spice and Wolf, Haruhi Suzumiya, Toradora. What else starts out in light novel? Oh, there's a whole bunch of them. It's just Slayers, actually. Slayers is another one. But hardly any of these get releases over here. If we do, they become like we get the manga adaptation of it, which of course isn't going to be as good as the original light novel. So it's something that I can understand why they're not being released, because not too many people are even aware of them. When you talk to people about, say, Sword Art Online, most people assume it was based on a manga, which is like just... I guess I can understand why they think that. It can be a bit disappointing sometimes, because anything really should be viewed as in their original format. Okay, I know anime adaptations quite often aren't in their original format and they're awesome, but that's kind of that's the equivalent of movies, basically, whereas manga adaptations, generally, they're not as good, say, if they're adapting the anime or the light novels. The Sacred Blacksmith, I forgot about that as well. So I'll just show off. First of all, we have... this is actually a very popular series. Vampire Hunter D. If you're not aware of what Vampire Hunter D is, which, how can you not? It basically... These are stories of... it's like a science fiction medieval-esque kind of thing. It's kind of medieval with science fiction elements, because the year is over 12,000. It's 12,090 in this book. And yet, and everyone's kind of a poor medieval, there's vampires, just castles and all that. Yet you have electrical guns and all that jazz. It's kind of funky, but it's very cool. I only got in the first novel, which is... basically, there's 2 Vampire Hunter D movies. The Vampire Hunter D, which I think was released in the 80s, and then there was the more recent Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. Vampire Hunter D, the first movie, adapts the first book, so this is the first movie in book form. When I say book form, I mean with actual words. Now, there are pictures in this by interestingly, the artist, was it Yoshitaka Amano, who's also responsible for a lot of designs for Final Fantasy. These days, I think all he does for Final Fantasy really is the title, you know, like he does the really nice looking titles. But in the past, he was also responsible for kind of character designs and all that jazz. It's not as, you know, manga-esque as other stuff, but if you take a look, you know, it's still a very appealing art style, and you have like them kind of spread out throughout the book. I really do enjoy it, and I intend to get more, particularly considering if you actually, you know, I'm sure you listened, the first movie adapted the first book, and then the second movie adapted the third book. So the second book hasn't been adapted at all, and like there's like about 20 books now released of this. If you need to know the publisher, it's published by Dark Horse and Digital Manga Publishing. So yeah, I need to get more of those at some point. I'll go with the Viz's next. Viz Media, they used to publish a light novels, like a good bit of light novels, but obviously since they didn't do as well, I'd say they kind of just stopped releasing them. The most popular light novel they probably ever released was probably this, which was the Death Note, Another Note, the Los Angeles BB murder cases, which is actually very good. It's it's a background on one of the characters in the TV series. What's her name again? I'm just trying. It's been a while since I've seen the TV series, so I'm just trying to recall her name. Masora. Yeah, Masora. So if you recall who Masora is, she's actually she's a former detective in the TV series who then, you know, she tries to investigate the case. I won't spoil anything in the event that you haven't watched Death Note, but it's nice to see this kind of a few years earlier story. It's actually very well written, in fairness, and it actually has a fantastic twist, actually, something I was not expecting. So I really like that. Then I got this as part of the Full Metal Alchemist manga box set, The Ties That Bind. Basically, this is more one of the... Okay, it's basically Viz released this thing called Viz Fiction, which basically just light novel stuff of a lot of their more popular manga series. So one thing that I always see, but I never intend to buy, is there's a Naruto light novel that adapts the first arc, which was not the introduction arc, the Haku and Zabuza arc in Naruto, and they don't even do original artwork for it. You just have like the artwork from the manga put throughout the book. In fairness though, one thing I guess that's a benefit of that one is that you get the color page of one of the action scenes in it, like right at the beginning, which is nice. But anyway, this is not an adaptation of an arc. This is actually an original story from the that's kind of within the manga. Now, since it's like a supplementary story, that means there's no, you know, it doesn't progress the story at all. Like, it doesn't progress the main story. It's kind of just Edward and Al. They're looking for the Philosopher's Stone. So it's relatively early, probably like episode 20 of the anime, probably about maybe 8 or 9 of the manga volume. So I read it and I enjoyed it, but of course it's not one of those standout ones. Basically it's just a big filler arc, although it's nice. And there is some very nice original artwork for this from Hiromu Arakawa, which is the mangaka of the manga. So that's nice. So that's the only Viz light novels that I have. So I've shown you my Dark Horse light novels, I've shown you my Viz light novels. Now, as far as I can tell, the biggest publisher right now of light novels is Yen Press. I might be wrong on that, but I'm fairly sure. Because, first of all, I have... This was actually really good. There's 2 volumes of it, I only have the first, but I do intend to get the other one at some point. It's called My Girlfriend is a Geek. No, My Girlfriend's a Geek, sorry. But point is, it's actually very good. It's kind of done, kind of like a blog, So if you look at the way that the pages are laid out, it's kind of like that blogging thing, with even the names at the sides, you know, like Waiko, me, it's just Waiko and me. But for these pages. But it is very good, actually. It is. The only issue I would have with My Girlfriend's a Geek, maybe, is that you need to be quite familiar with otaku culture. And when I say that, okay, there's a glossary at the back which explains a lot of stuff. This is actually the manga that taught me, not the manga, the light novel, the medium, or whatever you want to call it, the series, that taught me the word fujoshi, which means rotten girl in Japanese, and basically means, you know, a girl who's obsessed about yaoi, or, you know, boy love. And it also taught me words like tsundere, although of course I would have learned that anyway. But there's a lot of mentions of series that don't get too much explanation, like it's constantly talking about Gundam Seed, as well as it mentions Ouran High School Host Club, it mentions Neon Genesis Evangelion. Now, there's a lot, it's basically a comedy, actually, is the best way to describe it. It's really funny if you get the references. I mean, there was one bit about Gundam Seed that I was laughing, I was in stitches, it was so funny. But it's really good, it just requires a great knowledge of otaku culture. Now, this is the only light novel series that I have more than one volume for. Actually, I have a lot of this series because I'm a big fan of the anime. But I am a little behind on getting them. The Harui novels. As you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of the light novels of Haruhi Suzumiya. And this is where I think the artwork is actually at its best. If I can get you a picture. Okay, just came across one there. There's some very nice looking artwork there of Haruhi, as you can see. Kyon looks a little funky in the background, but that's just his character design, I think. So, I really do enjoy the Haruhi novels, and I do need to catch up on that. I haven't had the opportunity. So that's my light novels, all my light novels. We said that was 7, didn't we? Yeah, 7 Haruhis, and when we have 4 others, that's 11. I have 11 light novels. Which, in fairness, is probably more than most people. It's not very much. So, I do wish to expand my light novels, and I want to try to encourage light novels, because, you know, I would really love to read, you know, like, more light... in particular, to see more light novels released over here. It's just... they're not selling as well, and plus they're more expensive to do. I mean, you have to actually translate every single word in that. In manga, you know, okay, you're translating all the words and possibly the effects, but they're relatively minor overall, because, like, you don't have to change the pictures, whereas in this you have to change every single thing on every single page, basically. You have to change every single, you know, Japanese word into an English word. So they're more expensive to make, and they also sell less than manga. So they're more expensive and they sell less. No wonder so few people, you know, so few companies release it now. So I would like to try to encourage this, and I do want to buy more, particularly Spice and Wolf. I've watched the anime of Spice and Wolf, and while I really enjoyed it, the season 2 ends on such a cliffhanger. It just, and plus it doesn't look like they're going to continue on with the series. The anime series, like, they're not going to make a season 3 of it. So that's disappointing, but at least I'll be able to get the light novels and see the continuation of it at some point. And of course there's a lot of other stuff I would like to expand on. The Haruis, I need to get the second of My Girlfriend's a Geek. I need to get more Vampire Hunter D, although that's like over 20 of them. So hopefully you learned a little bit on light novels. Maybe you enjoyed watching my my light novel collection and my opinion on my light novels. And I encourage you to try to get them, because I will hopefully try to get more light novels and encourage the industry. But of course I can't make the difference, you know, it's you guys as well who make the difference. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and bye bye.